I just walked out there, put it in the hole, swipe their credit card, and call it a day. Welcome to the Allegedly podcast with your hosts, Katie and Dakota.
Rise and shine.
Rise and shine.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, really whatever time that you are listening to us. It is 6:35 a.m. in Arizona, and I am just bright and sunshiny. How are you, Dak?
I feel so blessed. I got a nice big old cup of coffee.
We're just doing a little early morning special, a little early morning delight.
We love that. And we have like no structure, no nothing really to talk about, just going to be shooting the shit a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dakota and I obviously do like a little business meeting before we record our podcasts, of course. And typically throughout the week, we are very on top of like, hey, let's talk about this, or like actively thinking of ideas bouncing off each other. We like really did not speak this week. We were taking a break, I think, an unsaid break. So we are here and we are ready to rumble, but we have no structure, as Dakota said.
So random thought or random thing that I've seen this week, just to kick us off. I saw someone put like this meme that says, like, do you tip by service or do you tip by percentage?
So wait, question.
Yeah.
I don't think you have, but did you ever work in the service industry?
I bust. So, well, it's kind of weird. I like bust tables for a little bit, so I didn't necessarily get tips.
Oh yeah, you did it for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and then I quit because I had another job and they were trying to have me work 80 hours and I was like, yo, you're not, like, I can't do this. Yeah, right. But I did. I don't know if this counts as service because it was just too easy.
Oh, what kind of service?
I pumped gas for a boat. You know what I mean? Like I worked at a marina.
We love that for you.
And like I just walked out there, put it in the hole, swipe their credit card, and call it a day.
I feel like that's goals. All you have to do is walk up, put something in the hole.
I know.
Call it a day.
I was the only guy too, so it was just kind of like a nice, like the situation and the vibe was like I had to have my shirt off. Like it was like a sex sales type situation. Definitely underage. Yeah. But it was very like tip driven, I guess, so I was just like, I remember this guy, he's not a good tipper. Oh, this is gonna be a good one, like,
yeah.
So I guess I've been involved in the tip industry.
Were you like putting a little sponge in a water bucket and like squeezing it all over those abs of yours?
And then drippy drip
working for the tips?
Yeah. I would say I try to be like a good conversationalist, like I always kind of had a script or I had a bunch of things that I would run through just because you have like repeated conversations over and over and over. So that was kind of my approach with it. But other than that, like I wasn't really trying to like twerk it out up on there. I didn't want to get a splint
at the gas station.
Yeah. But I think funny. I didn't expect people to tip by percentage just because gas is really expensive and the task was so easy. But like some people did. So like I would work for them for like 5 minutes and I would get $20,
That's
just
nice.
Something outrageous. Yeah, that's why I love that job.
Yeah, especially because I assume you just had to pull the little lever.
Yeah. Well, and she didn't stick, so I was squeezing it the whole time. There was some challenges, carpal tunnel and all. But yeah, that was really
I have carpal tunnel.
What's your experience in the service industry?
So, I mean, through high school and then college, I always worked in restaurants, or not through all of high school, but once I turned 16 as either a busser or a hostess. And then towards the end, I was food running as well. So I was always tipped out by servers. I never actually served. But I think like spending that long in the service industry, I always tip by percent. And like mine, like bare minimum for me is 20%. Like if someone's doing like outstanding, then I will tip 25%.
Mama's generous.
Yeah. And then, but then there's also like kind of the awkward, like, say like your friend is serving you. To me, then you like really have to ball out.
You gotta show out for a good.
Then all of a sudden, like your bill is 50 and all of a sudden you're tipping 50 as well because you're like, well, shit. Like,
I've never had a friend serve me in that way.
Well, I think for me, it was more just like friends at the restaurant.
Oh,
like if
yeah.
I went in for dinner, it's like I can't have people I'm working with thinking I'm a bad tipper.
Right.
You
That's
know
like,
what I mean?
that's like bad luck. I mean, I definitely have problems with just, really showing out that much. I think that I'm like not as generous as you. I think I'm leaning on the frugal side, but I think that I like to lean somewhere. I like, how 18 sometimes pops up on the old iPad whenever you choose. Sometimes I choose
you're
that.
an 18er.
I might be an 18er.
You're an 18er.
But I was just thinking, I know. Well, I mean, I admit it. I think that I'm just like, I'm a cheap bitch,
You're like frugal as F.
Yeah. But like at one point, whenever we were growing up, like what is the standard to tip now? I think it is 20% in the current age. But at one point, was it 10 or was that just like what you're supposed to tide at church or something? I don't even know.
I don't really know. I think that like older people tip like 10 or 15%.
Was it 10
and that's
at
just
one point?
like, I don't know. 10 seems really low. Like
it
I
does
think
now,
it was, I
but I
think
feel
it
like
was
that
15,
used to be it.
Maybe. I don't know. But the thing is, 20% is very easy to calculate. It's simple math. So 20 is just super easy. But I think that where things do get tricky is if you're not in a restaurant. Like say you're getting your hair done.
Oh, I tip well when I do for some reason. I typically tip $20 on like a $25, $30 haircut. I don't know why.
So
I guess
that's where your big bang.
I ball out for my barber, bitch.
You want someone to make your hair look good, but not make your tummy feel good.
I don't know why. I guess it is just like the industry too. Cause I just feel like
once in a lifetime, not really, but like,
Yeah. Well, I just think I've never really broken it down in my head, but like a waiter or a waitress, they're serving a bunch of people, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of working full time. The someone cutting my hair, it's like, it's a private moment. It's an intimate moment. Like, and they can't be sniffing on anyone else. So I just think, it's good to show love for who's cutting your hair.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I tip 20 to 25 too for my hair, although you see my roots are really growing out. My hairstylist is not texting me back right now. So anyone listening in Scottsdale, she's in the market for a new hairstylist. I'm putting that out there. And if my girl is listening, sorry, I text you 3 times.
It's just the truth.
Okay, so since we're kind of talking about money, I think I'll kind of spitfire something that over the last couple weeks in my new role I've noticed is going on and kind of interesting. Started recruiting a few weeks ago, and I've been just reaching out to a lot of people about my company and saying, hey, like, we would love to have you apply for this position, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm reaching out to like hundreds and hundreds of people. And the thing that I've noticed as a trend is people will come back and ask like, well, what's the salary? And I have to be like, well, per our company policy, I can't tell you. But like, what kind of range are you looking for? And then I can be like, oh, that is or is not, you know what I mean? Men are on average saying 80K plus. I would say typically anywhere from 80 to 100. And then women on average are saying 30K to 50K, which is just like shocking to me.
Right.
So I kind of wanted your thoughts.
I think that it just aligns with everything that people are starting to realize more, just like how the pay gap, the fact that it exists, that is an example of it existing for so long that like, this is what I find to be my normal pay. And then it's dramatically different for the opposite gender. I think the only way that that'll change is companies, making that adjustment and being fair to their employees, but then also like people knowing that going in to conversations like that, and women ensuring that they're asking for an appropriate amount.
Yeah.
I think something that kind of helped me in college and just like my women peers, I guess, is I took a negotiation class in college, and it was taught by a woman, and it was all about like it was like our scenarios were buying cars, negotiating salary, like high
That's
business
cool.
deals. Yeah. And she was just like, you never take the first offer. And she was teaching us like what we should go after, industry standards, things like that. She was like, my husband will never buy one of our cars. Like, I'm going in there and I'm doing the talking and the dealing. And she was just kind of, she was just kind of a boss bitch. And I like that. And I think that just even having a class where you kind of have in your mind what is standard is the starting point for people to kind of enter into those conversations with more ammunition. Yeah. Because then it's just like, oh, well, here's someone I can take advantage of easily. I'm sure my boss will love this.
Yeah. Well, and I think, I mean, since you've worked at the company, like we have a very like standard entry pay.
That's where I got like very
with
sad.
Like no wiggle room at all. So it's like, it kind of is what it is. But I know there are a lot of careers out there where you can negotiate. And like, I think my whole point of bringing this up was, one, I was shocked that like women were literally undervaluing themselves by minimum of 30K compared to men, maximum 50K, I guess, well, up to 100, so 70K, even less than what some men were asking. But to me, it's just like, be confident and like know your worth, but then also like do your research, you know what I mean? Because it's like telling yourself, oh, I'm only capable of like this amount of money, like,
I think it's just kind of when you get used to getting paid a certain amount, then that's kind of what you assume that your qualifications earn you. So I think that's unfortunate.
Honey. So anyways, I think I've got a big week coming up. What do you have going on this week?
Huge week too, Katie. Huge week. Unemployment brings all busy, girl.
We love that. Lots of van life stuff.
Yeah, lots of van life stuff.
Nice. And I'm house life stuff.
Van life, house, and tennis life.
We love that. Ooh, watch out for the Karen with the fan.
Yo, I saw her again, and I was sitting down. So, I mean, I had a moment to make full on eye contact with her.
Yeah.
I smiled and raised my hand and gave her like the Queen's wave. And she just looked at me and just specifically tried to frown a little bit, and she turned away, and I was like, oh, she's not over the fan. So the next time I see her, since I don't even really know her, I'm just gonna be like, hey, like, do you still have a problem about the fan? Just to like confront someone that's like double my age and entitled.
I love that for you.
Yeah. Because I've never had a moment like that. I've never had a moment where it's just like, hey, like, do you have a problem with me?
I have, but you know what? Like, let's stand up for what's right. I love that for you. Maybe we can circle back and see how that went.
Yeah.
And that's on personal growth. All right, everyone. Well, I think that we've just done enough talking about nonsense for the week. So hope you all have a great week. As always, please make sure that you're following our Instagram at allegedly Katie Dakota. You're following our YouTube. That's where we really need some levity live. So go subscribe to us, Allegedly with Katie and Dakota. It's just the name of our podcast. Hit subscribe, share it with your friends, share it on that Instagram story. And then hop over, follow Dakota at Dakota Etheridge on all platforms, because consistency is key. As I always mention, me, not so consistent. Katie Henry on YouTube. I just actually posted. She just posted a new vlog.
Get into it.
It's been a little minute. It's 3 weeks of my 6-week fitness program that I'm doing. So go check that out. Give it some love, because really there hasn't been much love on there. So would appreciate it. My Instagram is at kt.hen. If you want to follow my fitness life, it's at ktliz.fit. And I think that about sums it up. I hope you all have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.